hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Deep drop, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. On third and long, it's Rodgers. And Cook has it, left side. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And the Cardinals offense here ready to take over. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get. And it's just so strange to see that go up on the board. And then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
On second down, here's Palmer. And Gresham has it left side. And he's going to be out of bounds up around the 45-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
Now it's Palmer. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. Fighting through. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. Give the tackle there to Morgan Burnett.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. 4th down. Here's Palmer. It's caught. Nelson. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
Well, the field goal attempt is well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. They run the sneak. Palmer. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
From the 2-yard line now, it's 1st and goal. Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so, and one of my favorite coaches used to say, son, if you could darn near lay down near the end zone and get in, give me my best power running play with my best back right now.
To Johnson again. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson punching it in from a yard away. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. For Montgomery, the wild card round, got his knee twisted, left the game for a little bit, came back late in the 4th, though, so that's a good sign. He's another piece that they need going forward.
A big sigh of relief for the Packers offense and the team overall to see Montgomery back in the lineup. Since he moved from receiver to running back and helped solidify the Packers running game, that's really helped the offense expand and explode. And he still kept his receiving skills. How about that big catch against the Giants late in the game?
Yeah, finished with 3 of them for just over 40 yards. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. It'll be a gain of 9, and in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They do go for it. It's Rodgers. And he finds Cook. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
Mission accomplished on that throw. Slant, pick up the first down. I like how he just put it on the receiver and didn't lead him on that one.
Happened quickly. Defense, not much they could do. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And they have possession, and they have it at the 30.
Of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
And his throw is incomplete.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out of his hand at that point, he'd better eat it because the play was dead.
Play clock winding down. Now it's Palmer. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And Gresham has it left side. And eventually brought down, but it's near the 5 at the 6. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up first and goal.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
They go play, and he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Jermaine Gresham from 6 yards away. And the Cardinals have taken the lead.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Already looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your...
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Calais Campbell in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Boy, he came in off the edge so quickly there.
Look out, because that's exactly what it was being shouted by the offensive lineman to his quarterback because he had no chance to block him.
And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. David Johnson. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And that makes it a 9-point game. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And they're going to speed things up here. Rodgers to throw on second down. And this is Cook with a grab. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. A final shot before half for Rodgers. Rodgers. Now he'll go deep down the middle. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and